Pleiadian starseeds are known as soul healers, but what does that mean? How did they develop this gift? And can you tell if you share these qualities? If you've been searching for Pleiadian starseed traits or wondering, am I a Pleiadian starseed? This complete guide covers everything you need to know about Pleiadian energy through all 12 astrological houses. And if you want to know how to activate and share your Pleiadian star codes, then wait, what the hell are star codes? Is that a real thing or just another spiritual buzzword? Codes as patterns of information. At the most basic level, a code is information structured in a specific pattern. As in computer science, binary codes, software instructions, DNAs like genetic codes, sequence of nucleotides. In spirituality, it's frequency patterns, symbolic archetypes, or energetic imprints. So when spiritual people say codes, they're usually pointing to information beyond language, stored in frequency, symbol, or geometry. Now we know. So basically, it's becoming shorthand for any spiritual activation, which is why it feels fuzzy and buzzwordy. So, information beyond language, stored in frequency, symbol, or geometry. Okay, I'll allow it. By the way, I'm also creating a series of follow-up videos where we do a deep dive covering the energies of each planet in connection to the Pleiades through all of the 12 astrological houses. So for example, you'll get the Pleiadian sun through each of the houses, then the Pleiadian moon through each of the houses, then Pleiadian Mars, then Pleiadian Mercury, and so on all the way through Pleiadian Chiron through each of the 12 houses. I'm so excited about doing this series for y'all and creating a full range of Pleiadian expressions to help you understand your own chart better. The Pleiades constellation, often called the Seven Sisters, is one of the most recognizable star clusters in our night sky, and the Pleiadian star beings have become one of the most popular topics in galactic astrology, as well as spiritual and metaphysical groups. The Pleiadians are a central part of our shared cosmic tapestry, and if you've ever felt an inexplicable connection to the Seven Sisters, like recognizing a star family you haven't seen in lifetimes, you're not alone. Hey, I'm Kellie. Do you ever feel like an energetic mediator in group settings, or maybe the emotional support human for your friends and family? Do people share things with you that they don't share with others because they somehow feel safe with you? Do you feel soul-driven to transform your experiences into something that can heal and empower others? And do you feel physical discomfort when you see someone else suffering? Then keep watching because you may get some answers as to why these experiences are present in your life. This video will cover some of the core themes associated with connections to the Pleiades through all 12 astrological houses. We're going to cover some of the predominant characteristics, mission, lessons, and challenges for Pleiadian starseeds. From overcoming codependence to mastering communication, understanding your connection to the Pleiades can help deepen your experience with these natural gifts. As we said, Pleiadians are known as soul healers of the cosmos and are associated with some of the most nurturing, communicative, and healing energies in our galaxy. They embody optimism, playfulness, and a profound capacity to see the best in everyone around them. Whether you have natal alignments to the Pleiades or you're simply drawn to these energies, this video will help you understand and work with the Pleiadian frequencies in your life. Every year, there are multiple alignments to the Pleiades, creating regular opportunities to connect with these energies and the star beings from this beautiful system. For example, the moon travels through the entire zodiac in basically 28 days, creating a weekly connection through the conjunct, square, and opposite alignments. While the moon makes an aspect to the Pleiades weekly, the sun creates 4 powerful seasonal gateways throughout the year. You can use the following dates as a guideline for when to tune into Pleiadian energies through these seasonal gateways connected to the sun. These key annual alignments include the following dates. These dates are approximately the same each year. The sun conjuncts the Pleiades around May 19th to the 23rd on the cusp of Taurus and Gemini, so the last 2 degrees of Taurus and the early degrees of Gemini. Then the sun will oppose the Pleiades around November 19th to the 23rd each year on the Scorpio-Sagittarius cusp. Then the sun will square the Pleiades a couple of times a year. First, around February 19th to the 23rd on the Aquarius-Pisces cusp, so the last 2 degrees of Aquarius, early degrees of Pisces. Then again around August 19th to the 23rd. Depending on which source you look into and your location, some people give specific times to meditate during the day for the May alignments or meditating at night for the November alignments. I say choose a time that best suits your energy and ability to focus and go with it. Don't overthink it. And for my chart nerds, I've left you some notes in the description about orbs. Want to tap into the Pleiadian energy right now? Try this. Attune yourself to this star family by focusing on the following core frequencies: healing communication, joyful service, and empathic connection. With healing communication, you want to focus on words that restore, uplift, and activate higher awareness. With joyful service, this is about finding genuine happiness and supporting others' growth. And with empathic connection, this is about sensing emotional undercurrents and bringing them to the surface with compassion. If you want to meditate and go deeper with these energies, focus on this core message. I am a clear channel for healing communication. I create and maintain healthy boundaries for myself and others. I allow others to have their own experience. You don't need to have Pleiadian alignments in your natal chart to work with these energies. Sometimes knowing where the Pleiades falls in your chart can give you an idea of where these energies will show up in your life. The last couple of degrees of Taurus and the first couple of degrees of Gemini. Look in your chart and see what house that lands in, and that can help give you an idea of what we're going to cover here. That being said, if you do have natal alignments, you may feel these frequencies more intensely in that area of life. For example, in my own chart, I have Pleiades tightly conjunct my South Node in the 8th house, which means my connection to the star family involves the evolutionary journey through my lunar nodes. Don't worry, we'll cover the lunar nodes a bit later in this video. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go. Starseed qualities and integration challenges. For those connected to Pleiadian energy, here are the key traits and qualities associated with Pleiadian starseeds. You're naturally optimistic, witty, social, playful, and enthusiastic. You are service to others oriented and like to be helpful. You possess deep empathy and sensitivity that borders on psychic ability. You maintain strong faith even during challenging situations, and you have a remarkable capacity to forgive and see the best in others. Along with these gifts comes some integration challenges, the fun stuff. Boundary struggles, which offers the opportunity to learn balanced service that doesn't deplete your energy. Very important. Rescuer tendencies. This could teach discernment about when to be helpful and when to allow others their growth lessons. Emotional absorption, which can help develop mastery of energy clearing and protection techniques. And communication barriers, which offers the opportunity to transform defensive or people-pleasing patterns into authentic expression. Where these energies land in your chart makes a huge difference in how you experience them and what area of life they manifest more strongly. Now that we have a clear idea about some of the core traits and qualities of Pleiadian starseeds, let's explore this Pleiadian energy through all 12 astrological houses. Pleiades in the first house. Your presence alone can shift the energy of your environment, making you a natural mood lifter and spiritual catalyst. You're an optimistic, playful, and empathic spirit who sees the best in others, and your genuine faith in them is a natural confidence booster. Your higher frequency helps others access and activate their own gifts and abilities. Pleiades in the second house. You create material security through joyful service, regardless of what type of work you do. You may generate income through energy healing, life coaching or mentoring, social media, or any form of creative and compassionate communication. The trap is to be mindful that your self-worth can become precariously entangled with how much you give. So learn to value yourself aside from your ability to help others. Pleiades in the third house. Your communication style is animated, fast-paced, and genuinely enthusiastic. You're the friend who can talk for hours about anything, but you may also catch yourself editing your words to avoid upsetting others, or engaging in harsh self-criticism as a preemptive strike against judgment. So your challenge is learning to speak your truth without the internal commentary. Pleiades in the fourth house. Home is your sanctuary, and you create spaces where others feel emotionally safe to be themselves. Your nurturing style is lighthearted and encouraging rather than smothering, so you're intuitively learning how to hold space without taking over. Maintaining peace in your environment isn't optional for you. It's essential to your well-being. Pleiades in the fifth house. Your creative self-expression is playful, whimsical, and completely authentic. There's no performance here. You turn life experiences into wisdom and then express that wisdom through art, storytelling, or simply the way you engage with life. You remind others that growth doesn't have to be heavy. It can be joyful and flow with spontaneity. Pleiades in the sixth house. Being of service to others isn't a duty for you, it's a genuine calling. You help others activate their divine gifts, often seeing potential in them before they see it in themselves. The shadow side is that you may unconsciously absorb the emotional and energetic debris of your work environment. Harsh people and toxic spaces literally affect your physical health. So, energy clearing is mandatory maintenance for your overall well-being. Don't skip this part. Pleiades in the 7th house. You bring lightness and enthusiasm to your partnerships. You're the person who gives second chances, third chances, and maybe even a dozen chances because you genuinely see the highest potential in everyone. And while this is a gift, it means that you may attract partners who continually test your boundaries, intentionally or otherwise. You forgive easily and don't hold grudges, but this doesn't require you to stay in toxic situations. So your challenge is learning that healthy boundaries don't diminish love, they protect it. Pleiades in the 8th house. You're naturally drawn to esoteric topics, psychology, and energy work. Anything metaphysical and magical that explores what's beneath the surface. Your ability to see the best in others, along with your ability to communicate that highest potential, can awaken in them their gifts and catalyze their own healing or transformation. People feel fundamentally changed after deep conversations with you because you help them integrate their experiences through a heart-centered lens. Remember that healthy boundaries and strong communication allow you to explore intimacy. Pleiades in the 9th house. Learning and exploring are lifelong passions and themes for you. You feel mission-driven to assist humanity's spiritual evolution, and as you master your own Pleiadian lessons around boundaries and communication, you naturally become a teacher of these skills. You believe that wisdom is meant to be shared, not hoarded. Pleiades in the 10th house. You have natural social media skills and understand how to communicate in ways that resonate broadly. You're professionally known for uplifting others through your natural optimism and genuine desire to be helpful. People feel truly supported and valued by your words and actions. You demonstrate compassionate leadership that is focused on heart-centered communication. Just be careful not to lose yourself in being everyone else's cheerleader. Pleiades in the 11th house. Communities and collaborations are energized by your passion and optimism. You're the person who reminds everyone why they came together in the first place. You're driven by a deep desire for collective peace and happiness. But watch out for that hard Pleiadian lesson of allowing others to have their own experience, even when you can clearly see a better path. Sometimes the most appropriate action is to simply step back. Pleiades in the 12th house. Your innate optimism allows you to dive into spiritual growth and shadow work without getting lost in the darkness. You maintain faith and trust even during deeply challenging or scary initiations. Your 12th house Pleiadian energy connects you to the collective unconscious in ways that can feel both overwhelming and profoundly sacred. Alone time isn't isolation for you, it's where you recharge and reconnect with Source. Pleiadian evolutionary journey through the lunar nodes. Okay, you've seen how the Pleiadian energy moves through your daily lives. Now let's look at the soul's evolutionary journey through the nodes. But before we move to the lunar nodes, if you're finding value in this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Thank you. So here's where it gets real, as in the cosmic curriculum that you signed up for. This is where your Pleiadian connection invites you into deeper mastery through challenge. Pleiadian South Node, past life gifts and what you bring in. Natural gift for emotional healing and nurturing others. Instinctive skill at diffusing tense situations. Comfortable role as a mediator and emotional support. Past life experience in healing and communication. Pleiades North Node, soul growth direction and what you lean into. Learning to maintain healthy emotional boundaries, developing clear communication of personal needs, mastering energy management techniques, and transforming absorbed emotions consciously. Also evolving from mediator to empowered teacher. The key evolutionary themes around this are moving from unconscious absorption to conscious transformation of energy. Very important. Moving from people-pleasing to being authentic, speaking your truth authentically, and moving from natural empathy to structured healing practice. So in other words, moving that from doing it automatically to doing it on purpose. Starseed strategies. Now let's look at some practical ways, including actionable steps for you to work with and integrate the Pleiadian energies. Strategy 1 is around boundary setting. Many starseeds here, including Pleiades, are learning the lesson of boundaries, how to set and keep them. Here are a few pointers to help you frame some boundaries that will make it easier for you to practice them. Boundary 1, available doesn't mean obligated. This includes your time, energy, financial resources, emotional investment, and so on. Identify a few people or situations that feel more draining on your energy, and before you engage, remind yourself that available doesn't mean obligated. You could easily take this and write this down, turn this into a journal exercise. The next one is I prioritize my well-being. This is a great self-referencing boundary. It's built around values. So if you value your well-being, you're more likely to prioritize that when making decisions, or at least it can help you balance the decision to say yes against what can be gained by not overcommitting yourself to begin with. You can even take the second one a step further and be specific. So instead of I prioritize my well-being, you could say I prioritize my family, my health, and my spiritual practice. The more specific you can get, the better this tool will be to help you identify those areas where your energy is leaking, your time and resources are leaking, and it can bring you back into focus and clarity about where to set those boundaries. You don't have to wait for the transits to do this. Boundaries are needed all year round for a variety of situations: home, work, holidays, family, all of that. The important thing is to find something that resonates and work with it. Integrate it into your daily habits, and you will see amazing results very quickly. Strategy 2, release emotional buildup. This is especially important for Pleiadian starseeds specifically. When you go through life absorbing everyone else's emotions and energetic debris and all of that stuff that clogs you up, at some point you got to release it. And let's be real, sometimes smudge is just not enough. One way that Pleiadian starseeds find helpful to release built-up energy is crying, even if you don't like crying. I used to hate crying around people or in public, and I had a huge shift around that many, many years ago, which I'll save for another video. But I do find, and you may find as well, that a good cry goes a long way to clearing out the crap that you accumulate, often without realizing it. Give it a shot. So if you come home frustrated and you're more irritated than emotional, sitting down to cry might not make sense, or it might not be as easy to access that ability to just let go. One way you can do this on purpose is watch a deeply emotional movie. If you don't have a list, let me know in the comments and I will give you a top 5 or 10 list of movies that are guaranteed to make you bawl. And I'm not talking the cute little Instagram cries. I'm talking the ugly cry. Get it out of your system. It's actually healthier. Julia teaches us that Pleiadian starseeds especially release dense energy through crying, through tears. So I encourage you to see this as cosmic maintenance, very necessary, not emotional weakness. Strategy 3, balance helping others with. For this one, notice where you might be overextending, overcommitting. What you can do is set one new boundary this week. So at the end of this video or later this evening, or pick a day this week, this weekend, whatever works for you, and write down one new boundary that will honor your energy while still allowing you to serve. So you can use the references from the first strategy and make this specific to your life and what you need. Create a new boundary and practice that one thing for the next week. Another way to work with this strategy about balancing help with self-care is pick one day this week and try this for one day. For every yes you give, also tell someone no. So you'll do a 1-for-1 tally throughout the whole day. It doesn't have to be super detailed, just kind of keep a running tally in your head. Every time you tell someone yes, make sure that you balance that with a no. It can be the same person or just a general balancing exercise that brings more awareness to your yes-no ratio. Instead of making it a hard and fast rule for yourself, just use it to guide your awareness of personal boundaries. So after you do this for a day and make this conscious effort, then after that, you can just kind of use it as a background reference throughout the day. Make sure that every time you catch yourself saying yes, you're also giving a balance. Now, it doesn't have to be a 1-for-1 ratio after this one-day practice, but it's a good way to give you an overall balance as you move through the rest of your days. And be kind to yourself. Even if you aren't able to say no easily at first, at least this gives you some awareness of how often you say yes to how little you say no. So just use this as a calibration of your awareness. Be gentle and compassionate with the results and move forward with just a better understanding of where you need to work on some boundaries. Just know that understanding your Pleiadian star family connection gives you clarity on the gifts you've always had and the challenges you're here to master. I always hope that these explanations and the strategies give you a clear understanding of how to access and work with your natural gifts, connect with these amazing star beings, and where to look for these own frequencies in your chart and how they show up in your life. Okay, your turn. Tell me, what Pleiadian traits and characteristics have you already accessed and activated in this life? What Pleiadian gifts are you ready to develop further? Or what are some of the Pleiadian lessons you're still working through? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing your stories. And remember, humanity is a group project, so thanks for doing your part. And here we go. Sometimes just knowing where the Pleiades falls into your, sometimes just knowing in the, on the, at the Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. So, and you have a remarkable, where are we at? And the star beings from this beautiful system. For example, the moon travels through the entire zodiac in basically 28 days. You frame your boundaries, frame your boundaries, practice them. Humanity is a group project, so thanks. And remember, Boring is better. So skip that. So skip that distracting, bedazzled, leather-bound journal with a swirling. So skip that distracting, bedazzled, leather-bound journal you found with a swirling vertex. So skip that distracting, bedazzled, leather-bound journey. Jesus. So skip that distracting, bedazzled, leather-bound burning. Damn it. So skip that distracting, bedazzled, leather-bound. So skip that bedazzled. So skip that. So skip that distracting, bedazzled, leather-bound journal that you found with a swirling that you found with a swirling vortex of energy on the front. That's right, I see you. That's right, I see you. Okay, your turn. Okay, your turn. Okay, your turn. A third option is extending this for. You can skip to this part. I hope this helps give you a clear understanding of. I hope this helps give you a clear understanding